Hi again, here we are to talk about JavaScript and templates. And in the last video, we set up our project and we've got our templates showing up here. For some reason, my little flag went away, but that's not a big deal. Anyway, we've got our templates working. And now what I want to do is I want to set up the detail view. Okay, so my detail view is not working, right? Okay, so the way the detail view works is it's going to have a template similar to the setup here for the product view, right? So we're going to set up another template like this. The thing about the detail view though is that the href here on this link, this needs to be the ID name for the detail view. So each detail view needs to have this ID name because the JavaScript that opens the pop-up requires that, right? And I covered that in another set of videos. So if you want to find out how the pop-up thing works, you can go watch those videos because this is the same example, right? Okay, so let's just repeat the process of making the template. Okay, so if we made one set of templates here or made one template, that's okay. And if it worked for you, great. But to really understand it, you got to do it again and again. So we might as well at least do it once more here. Plus, it'll remove a lot of extra garbage from our HTML file and then make our work a lot easier, right? So, I have all of these divs at the bottom of the page here, and each one of these represents a pop-up, right? That's going to show some details about the products. Like you'll click on the product and then it'll open this thing in front of the page. And you can see I have a whole bunch of these, right? There's one for each product, right? So and you can see it says product details here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the first one, okay? So here it is. It's div, ID A details, class, product details. We have to make sure we get to the closing div here, right? So I'm going to select the first one and choose cut, Command X. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of the other ones, okay? Now, we want to be careful here that we don't delete anything extra. We just want to get rid of the product. So I carefully put a comment here that says product details, right? So we want to get everything from this product details to just inside the product details up here, and then we can just delete them, right? Okay. And, I have the templates down here. Maybe we'll just delete this thing here too. I'll just delete that, right? And then we'll keep our templates at the bottom, okay? So I'm going to make another template here. So I'll start with the script tag, okay? And then I'll paste that one copy of the div that we were using into the script tag here, okay? Maybe I'll move this over one. Always do your formatting, right? Because when your code gets sloppy, then that's when you start making mistakes and things don't work and they're hard to read, right? Okay, so here is our template. And then if you recall, our template needs to have an ID, right? So let's give it an ID. Let's say ID, and this one will be product details, okay? Or actually, let's call it details template. How about that? I think I'm already using the name product details, right? So let's call it details template, okay? And then it has to have a type, okay? So the type here needs to be this value, text/x handlebars template, okay? So let's just copy that to make sure that we got the right name, okay? And then our next task is to replace the content with the handlebars, okay, and the property name. So if you remember, our property names are ID, name, price, and description, and image. ID, name, price, description, image. This template didn't use the description, but we'll use it in this one down here, okay? So first, if you recall a moment ago, I was saying that the href value here needs to be the same value here as the ID for the template. So let's use the handlebars here and change this. So, we've got the double handlebars here and the double closing bracket, right? And then we'll say, we'll put the ID in there. And then this should say details dash. So, essentially it should just look just like this except without the hash mark, okay? So if you want, you could even just copy that and paste it down here, okay? Okay, so that's pretty good. So now we've got the image here, and it says source image whatever. Let's delete that and put in the handlebars and say image, because that's the name of the property in our array, right? And then where it says cat fuzz here, that actually should just be the name of the product. So I'll put the handlebars and I'll say name, okay? And then this paragraph right here is the description. So let's delete it, replace it with the handlebars, and type in description, okay? And then I've got the data name again here. So that's the name of my product. Let me put that in here and replace this with name, right? And then this is the price, so we'll need to delete it, use the handlebars, or replace it with price. And this data price, don't put the $sign in here because this is just sort of like a background thing, like we won't display on the page, right? It's just some information there. But this down here, this price is displayed on the page. So let's delete the price. You can leave the $sign in here, use the handlebars, and put price in there, okay? So essentially this template is a lot like the template up here, okay? We'll make a comment here. Product template, and then down here we'll say details template, okay? And then you know what I realized? I typed details templates with an S. I think actually maybe it should be singular. Let's call it details template, okay? So anyway, so we're good. Now let's compile the template again. So once we've got our template set up, we'll need to compile it. So go to your main.js, and here we compiled the first template. Let's compile the second template. So we'll say var details source equals, and then we'll use the name of the template, which is called details template, and we'll get the HTML from it. Okay, so this gives us the source HTML, or the text inside that script tag, and then we'll compile that into the details template. So this will be a template function, and we need to compile it with handlebars.compile. Okay? And then we're compiling from the details source. So you can just copy this name here and put it inside there. Okay, so there we go. So now, how do we add those things to the page? Well, you know what? Those divs, they go outside of everything else because they cover the entire page when they get displayed, right? So, so actually, we can just append them to the body tag. You know, you could append them to another tag if you need to do that for your arrangement. But the way that I have this page arranged, those divs can just be at the bottom of the body tag, and everything will be fine. So I'm going to say $body tag, right? Dot append, and then let's append. Oh yeah, you know, I guess here I got the product. Let's get the details too. So we'll say. How about var details equals details template data bracket I, right? So actually, you know, I can create, since I'm creating the product templates and the detail templates from the same data, I can just do it all inside the same loop, right? So this one loop, we can create a product, we can create the details, and then do it again until we've done them all. Okay, so anyway, hopefully that'll work. Let's test it out. So we'll save it, right? And then we'll look and see if there's any errors, and we can examine the page and, you know, see what to do about them, right? So I'll save all that and refresh here. And, oh, it's not working. Well, that's good, actually, because now we can test it, right? Okay, so what could be wrong? First thing to check, right? Go to the console and look for an error. So let's go to the console here. Oh, there we go, right? So console, failed to load resource. Well, that flag thing is still missing. We'll solve that one later. It's just the path is not right because I moved the CSS into another folder, right? So let's see what happens when I click on one of these guys. Well, I don't get any errors. So what I think the problem is that the JavaScript requires a particular ID name, right? So let's inspect this and check that ID name. So this guy should be details number 1 as his href. And then when I go down here and I look at my page here, actually, you know what, I'm looking and I don't see my products are not getting attached, right? Because I should be seeing some divs outside here, probably at the bottom of the body tag that say, product. It should have the same, whatever this ID is here, right? Details ID, right? So I think my templates are not getting attached. So that's my problem, right? Let's go check. So I got details. Oh yeah, I said append nothing, right? So there's my error, right? Let's paste this in here, right? And save it, and then we'll test it again, right? So I'll refresh, and then now you can see, oh, there's all the divs at the bottom. So it says details 1 through 9, and then let's see if it works, right? So we'll click on one of these guys. Oh, and then it shows up, and then I can close it. And if I click on this one, I get the other one, right? So that seems to be working. So anyway, yeah, use the console to try and solve any problems that you might have. My problem here with that SVG, I think, is in my style sheet. So let's see if we can solve that one. So I'll go to CSS, style CSS, and that flag thing is over here, and it says images / flag SVG, but I'm in the CSS folder, so the images folder doesn't exist in here, so I actually have to go up one folder here and then get the images folder. So I'll have to put a / in front of images like this. Let's refresh it now. Oh, there's the flag came back, right? So anyway, use the console here to try and solve your problems as much as you can, right? Now that error went away, right? And then good luck with that, and I hope that that's helpful. And again, think about this, right? One last thought, right? I've got my project organized now. All the CSS is in this folder, the JavaScript is in this folder. When I look at the HTML, the code that I have here is a lot shorter. Man, I don't have to really dig through this whole thing. As long as I understand how it works, this is a lot easier for me to work with. I just have one copy of this list item for every product on my page, no matter how many there are. And then I've just got one copy of this HTML for the details view of the product. And, no matter how many products I have just this one copy of it to deal with, right? So that's where the templates can really help you out and save you a lot of time and energy, right? And they make your projects flexible too, because in my case, I have 9 products, but if I want to add another one, then, I can just add another block of data here, or another object to my data array, and then it'll automatically create one on my page. And that's a lot easier than me writing the HTML, right? So anyway, I hope that's helpful, and thanks for watching.